Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor about your, girl parts? Well, you've come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. Obstetrics and gynecology? She keeps it real. Pregnancy? She's been there, done that. Menopause? She'll get you through. Young or old, Dr. Angela's got you covered, girl. Now here's Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 178 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. So, Christmas time is almost upon us. It's like the week before Christmas. Is everyone ready? I'm not even close. I still have Christmas shopping to do, lots of gifts to wrap. I didn't even get Christmas cards out this year. There is still time left, but I'm one of those people that I don't just send cards with a picture of my kid in the front of it. I actually write a nice Christmas note inside the card. I'm one of those folks that still actually believes in stationery and that writing folks a letter conveying how you feel is truly an art. It's a dying art. It's a thing that my wife and I are teaching our daughter. Francesca always writes thank you notes, and she has a written correspondence between herself and the grandparents. They write her letters, she writes them letters. So, what does everyone want for Christmas? Seems like a really loaded question, I know, but the reason that I'm asking is that you have got to be really careful what you ask for. Point in case, I saw a woman about a week ago, and she came into my office. She's like in her, I'm going to say mid-40s, and she's interested in having children, and she says to me, Dr. Angela, I want a hysterectomy. And I said, what? What do you mean you want a hysterectomy? Why? She said, because I want to have children. And so I looked at her completely baffled, and I said, you've got this all wrong. How can you be interested in having children, yet you just asked me to take out your uterus? And so she says, yeah, your colleague and friend, who, by the way, shall remain nameless, told me that I should come to you for a hysterectomy if I wanted to have kids. And so, still scratching my head in obvious befuddlement, I said, do you happen to have your medical records? Because I know my colleague and friend is an amazing doctor, and I know that this isn't what she told you. So let me just step out of the office. Let me see if I can get a hold of your medical records since you obviously don't have them. Oh, and here's just another quick tip. When you're going to see another physician, I always recommend that you carry a hard copy of your medical records with you, because half the time everything gets lost in translation, the other office doesn't send them, there's always like some hold up. So I always just recommend that when you're going for a consultation or even changing physician offices, that you get and go to your new physician with a hard copy of your medical records. So anyway, I do happen to obtain a copy of her medical records, and she needs a hysteroscopy as opposed to a hysterectomy. And I said to her, do you understand the difference? Hysterectomy, hyster is uterus. Okay, let's start there. Rectomy is removing your uterus. Oscopy is me taking a look inside your uterus to see what's going on. And long story short, it turns out that she has a small uterine septum that my colleague wants me to remove, because apparently the patient's insurance only goes to a hospital that I happen to have privileges at. So I'm going to do it for her. It'll be an easy resection under hysteroscopic guidance. So in a nutshell, I'm going to take a camera, stick it inside the cervix, into the body of the uterus, visualize the septum, and resect it, cut it away. And the reason that this is important is because it will decrease her risk of having implantation issues and also decrease her risk of having a miscarriage. So the moral of the story is, if you don't know, you better ask somebody, specifically your physician, to explain to you what the hell is going on. I think that the issue with this patient was there was somewhat of a language barrier because she was not born in the USA and English, therefore, was not her first language. So again, be very, very careful what you ask for. Hysteroscopy versus hysterectomy. Two completely different things. Hope this is helpful to someone. Anyway, thank you, and again, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. There's a lot of stuff going on in my neck of the woods. Check me out at www.askdrangela.com. If you have a question that you would like addressed, you can hit me up on the website. There's a question button for you to email me your question. The microphone is kind of falling out of favor because I think a lot of people are embarrassed to hear themselves on the air, even though you remain completely anonymous. But if you have a question that you want to submit to me, you can email me, you can direct message me on any of my social media venues. I would love to hear from you. If I do use your question on the podcast, I will reach out to you and we'll send you one of our bomb-ass t-shirts, especially now that I can leave you a note on my new bomb-ass stationery. Anyway, in closing, I'm going to leave you with this. Judge your success by the degree that you're enjoying peace, health, and love. Kind of makes you put things in perspective. That comes to us from life's little instruction book. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Until next time, look better, feel better, be better. Can't wait to reconnect on episode 179.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or illness and does not and should not replace treatment from a medical professional. Listening to and participating in this podcast does not create a doctor-patient relationship between you and Dr. Angela Jones. If you need medical advice or assistance, you should consult a physician. Listening to and participating in this podcast is subject to the terms and conditions posted at askdrangela.com/terms.